Good evening, Garage Gang. It's Wednesday, January 21st, and this is your nightly market recap. Tonight's tape is pure chaos. It starts with Davos. And if you don't know what Davos is, good. Because by the end of tonight's show, you will. Now lock in. Because when Davos lights up, the whole planet turns into a trading desk. One sentence becomes a catalyst, one microphone becomes a market-moving weapon. And tonight, the suits were smiling, while the screens were screaming. Wall Street didn't just drift higher, Wall Street got launched, like somebody hit a hidden nitrous button under the NYSE floor. And if you think that's normal, you're not watching the same movie. Meanwhile, Trump is out here turning geopolitics into rocket fuel. Tariffs, deals, frameworks, sound bites. It's the kind of tape where the headline hits first and the market asks questions later. And here's the problem for the average person. They hear good news and think it means stability. But the market doesn't reward good news anymore. It rewards surprise and it punishes hesitation. So you got this weird cocktail. Stocks ripping like they've got something to prove. Gold and silver dumping like the fear premium just got yanked. And crypto getting whipped like a street race in the rain. But we both know why you're really here. Did Triple X hit the trench today? And the answer is yes. So smash that like, hit the follow, and share this with your fellow deacons, or even that one guy who keeps asking how any of this actually works. Now, let's get into it. And just like that, Bitcoin is back above 90,000. Ethereum is back above 3,000. Solana is back over 130. That's the kind of snapback that makes beginners think, see, we're fine. No, we're not fine. We're in a headline-driven market where the steering wheel is being yanked every hour. So let's break down the day like adults. Step one, Davos set the stage. Because Davos isn't just speeches. Davos is a headline factory. When presidents, central bankers, and billionaire CEOs start talking, markets front-run the words. And today, the word that mattered wasn't inflation or rates. It was Greenland. Yeah, Greenland, because Trump cancels EU tariffs and announces a framework tied to Greenland. That's not a random geography lesson. That's a risk switch. Here's why it hit so hard. Tariffs, you uncertainty. Uncertainty, you start fear premium. You start money hiding in safe stuff like gold and bonds. So when tariffs get canceled, even with just a framework announcement, the market immediately reads it as less uncertainty, more risk on. That's why you saw metals dump. That's why stocks ripped. And that's why crypto snapped back like it got jump-started. But don't confuse risk on with smooth sailing, because while price was ripping, the market was also executing leverage in public. You had crypto longs getting liquidated, then crypto shorts getting liquidated back to back. That's the market doing what it does best, punishing certainty on both sides. And this is the key lesson of today. Greenland wasn't the destination. Greenland was the match. It gave the market permission to reprice. It gave traders a story to justify the move. And in a market like this, stories are gasoline. Now here's the part most people miss. A framework is not a final deal. A framework is a headline that buys time. It calms the crowd, it stops the bleeding, and it lets risk assets bounce. So yes, today looked like a rebound, but structurally, it's still a market built on tight liquidity, fast narratives, and leverage that's too confident, which means tomorrow can be comped or tomorrow can be a complete ambush based on one sentence. So if you're watching Bitcoin above 90,000, Ethereum above 3,000, and Solana over 130, don't just watch the price. Watch the driver. And today, the driver was Davos headlines, and the biggest steering wheel was Greenland. All right, real quick for the beginners. Davos is a small town in Switzerland where the World Economic Forum happens every year. Think of it like the Super Bowl for global power and money. You've got presidents and prime ministers, central bankers, the biggest CEOs on earth, billionaire investors, tech giants. They all show up, do private meetings, and go on stage to talk about trade deals, tariffs, interest rates, wars, energy, AI, regulation, everything that moves markets. And here's why you should care. Davos is basically a headline factory, because when someone important says one sentence like tariffs are off, or we have a framework, or rates are changing, the market reacts instantly, sometimes before the details even exist. So if today felt like the market flipped on a dime, that's Davos. It's not magic. It's power players talking in public and traders front-running the words. And tonight, Davos lit the fuse and Greenland was the match. Now, if you're new here, you might think Davos is just speeches and fancy coats. No, Davos is where the people who move the levers tell you what lever they're about to touch. And today they touched two: Greenland and the Fed. First, let's put real numbers on the day. The Dow didn't have a nice session. The Dow ripped up 588 points and closed at 49,077. The S&P 500 gained 78 points to 6,875. The NASDAQ jumped 270 points to 23,224. That is not a sleepy market. That is a risk-on stampede. And while stocks were celebrating, crypto was doing something else. It was executing leverage in public. Longs got liquidated, then shorts got liquidated back to back. That's why the day felt violent, because this isn't a trend tape right now. This is a headline tape. And in a headline tape, leverage is always the first one to die. Now let's talk about the second lever, the Fed chair. Trump starts hinting about his next Fed chair pick, and people act like it's gossip. It's not gossip. The Fed chair is the person holding the price of money, rates, liquidity, credit, the whole machine. So when the president signals a direction on the next Fed chair, markets start repricing the future off crumbs, not because they know the answer, but because they're terrified of being late. That's why days like today can rip like a celebration and still feel like a trap, because the market is trying to price tariffs, geopolitics, and the future cost of money all at the same time. Now back to Greenland for 1 second. People hear framework and think deal done. No, framework means pause the fight, calm the crowd, buy time. And buying time is enough to launch a rally. But it also means this can flip fast, because if one sentence changes tomorrow, the steering wheel gets yanked again. Oh, and quick Lulu update. Lulu took the day off, went on a date, but here's the funny part. Before the Greenland framework even hit the tape, she already closed her short position this morning, right where the whole move started. So yes, Lulu was early. She took her win, and she'll be back tomorrow. Now, before we go into the trench, we pivot to the other thing Davos is obsessed with, AI, because while everyone is staring at Bitcoin above 90, Ethereum above 3, Solana over 130, the real world is getting rewired quietly. OpenAI is rolling out age prediction in ChatGPT consumer plans. Translation: the machine doesn't just answer you anymore, it categorizes you. It looks at behavior signals, usage patterns, account age, activity timing, and if it thinks you're under 18, it turns on stronger safety protections automatically. And if it flags you wrong, you can verify and unlock full access. Here's why that matters. 2026 is the year the internet becomes a gated community, not by signs on a wall, by invisible systems in the software. The bouncer doesn't check your ID. The bouncer watches how you behave. Now, that's Davos, that's the scoreboard, that's the Fed chair lever, that's the AI gatekeeping shift. And now we go where the rules get tested in real time. Did XXX hit the trench today? Yeah, but here's the twist. He didn't come back with 10 moonshots. He came back with one play. And it wasn't a meme, it was Seeker. Now picture this: Resort World, Vegas lights, XXX posted up like a professional, sipping on a Coke Zero, plate of pasta in front of him like he's not about to do something reckless, because this is how the trench really works. The amateurs chase noise, the pros look for something real. He got the airdrop. He took that airdrop and put it to the side. That's the house money stack, untouched. Then he started to play with a separate bankroll, 35 Solana, no hero stuff, no all-in chest pounding, just controlled degen discipline. And by the time the night cooled off, he ran it from 35 Solana to 59. That's the room covered, that's dinner covered, and that's a few Solana left for later, while the airdrop sits untouched like a trophy. That's tonight's plays. Make sure you check the website, gurucryptogarage.guru. It's free. Engine's hot, safety off. Let it rip.